Welcome to Learning English with Stories. In this video, we are going to practice a conversation between Mira and her friend. Let's get started.
Mira wants to improve her English speaking skills, but she is nervous about making mistakes while speaking English. She asks her friend Sara, a native English speaker, for help. Mira plans to describe her daily routine and asks Sara to correct any mistakes. They find a quiet spot in the cafe and start their conversation.
Sara, I have been trying to improve my English by talking about my daily routine. Can we start with my morning routine?
Absolutely. I'd love to hear about it.
Awesome. I wake up at 7 a.m. and immediately get out of bed.
That sounds like a great way to start your day.
Yes, it feels good. After waking up, I go for a run on the park near my apartment.
Running in the park sounds refreshing, but it's actually in the park, not on the park.
Right? In the park. I always mix that up. After my run, I have breakfast on the kitchen counter while watching the news.
At the kitchen counter is the phrase you're looking for, not on the kitchen counter. Watching the news is a good way to stay informed.
Got it, at the kitchen counter. Then, I head to the university on foot since it's not too far.
Walking to the university is a great choice.
I try to get to my first class at 9 a.m., so I leave my apartment around 8:30.
Perfect timing. It's great that you're always on time.
I find that arriving early helps me settle in and prepare for the lecture.
Definitely a good practice. It shows you're serious about your studies.
I think starting the day well makes the rest of it better.
Absolutely. You're making great choices for your routine.
After my first class, I have a short break. I usually spend this time in the library to catch up on reading.
Using your break wisely. It's great to hear you're making the most out of the library resources.
Yes, it's quiet and perfect for focusing. Then, I go to my next class, which is in the second floor of the science building.
Just a small correction. It's on the second floor when talking about floors in a building, not in the second floor.
On the second floor. Got it. This class is actually my favorite. It's about environmental science.
It sounds fascinating. I'm glad you have a subject you're passionate about.
It really is. After that class, I usually have lunch with friends at the university cafeteria. We sit on a big table by the window.
Spending time with friends must be a nice break, though you would say at a big table, not on a big table.
You are right. At a big table. It's a nice way to relax and share what we've learned in the morning.
Sharing knowledge is always beneficial. What do you do after lunch?
We head back to our classes. My afternoon session starts in 2 p.m. with a lab course.
It should be at 2 p.m. for stating the time, not in 2 p.m. Lab courses must be interesting.
At 2 p.m. Thanks for correcting me. This lab is especially challenging, but I learn a lot.
Challenges often lead to the best learning experiences.
Absolutely. After my lab, I spend another hour in the library for some self-study before going home.
It's great that you dedicate time to study on your own too.
I've found that consistent review helps me retain information better.
Consistency is key in learning. You're managing your academic responsibilities very well.
After After the library, I walk back to my apartment. It's a good time for me to reflect in the day.
Walking home sounds like a nice transition from your busy day. It's good to have that reflection time. Just a quick correction. Reflect on the day, not in the day.
Yes, exactly. Reflect on the day. Once home, I start preparing dinner. I love cooking. It's like therapy for me.
Cooking is a great way to unwind.
After dinner, I usually do a bit of cleaning up and then settle in for some study time.
Keeping a clean space definitely helps with focusing. Your discipline is impressive.
Thank you. I find that studying in the evening is quieter.
Absolutely. A quiet environment can make a big difference in study efficiency.
Sometimes, if the weather is nice, I enjoy reading at the balcony under the stars.
That sounds lovely, though it should be on the balcony, not at the balcony.
Yes, on the balcony. I always mix those up. Reading there helps me relax before going to bed.
It's a beautiful way to end the day. What kind of books do you enjoy reading?
I enjoy a wide range, but lately, I've been into historical fiction. It's fascinating to learn about different eras.
Historical fiction can be quite immersive. It's great you have varied interests.
It keeps my mind engaged. And before sleep, I plan out my tasks for the next day. It helps me stay organized.
Planning ahead is a smart habit. You're really making the most of your time.
I try. And talking about my routine with you helps me think more critically about how I spend my time.
I'm glad our conversations are helpful. Your commitment to improving yourself is truly admirable.
Thanks. Your feedback has been incredibly helpful, not just with my English, but also in refining my daily habits.
I'm always here to support you. You're doing wonderfully.
After my evening studies, I usually take time for relaxation. Sometimes, I watch movies at my laptop.
It's good you balance study with relaxation. Watching movies is a great way to unwind. But you should say on the laptop, not at the laptop.
Oh, you are right. On my laptop. On weekends, I sometimes go for hiking in the mountains nearby.
Hiking is wonderful, but you would say go hiking in the mountains, omitting for.
Go hiking in the mountains. Got it. It's refreshing to be surrounded by nature.
Absolutely, nature has a way of refreshing the spirit.
And on Sunday mornings, I attend a yoga class at the local gym. It's a nice start to the day.
Starting the day with yoga sounds ideal. It's at the local gym, which you used correctly.
I'm glad I got that right. Yoga helps me stay balanced and calm.
Balance and calmness are so important, especially with a busy student life.
True. Another thing I enjoy is writing in my journal before bed, especially about things I'm grateful for.
Writing down what you're thankful for is really helpful. It's wonderful that you've added that into your routine.
It helps me stay positive. Sara, I'm really thankful for our sessions.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm thankful for them too. Your progress is impressive.
Thanks. Oh, I forgot to say that. I also try to make time for friends, even if it's just having coffee together in the weekends.
Spending time with friends is crucial, but it would be on the weekend, not in the weekend.
On the weekend. Thank you for correcting me. It's these small moments that really matter.
Yes, they add up to a fulfilling life. Your approach to balancing activities is inspiring.
I've learned it's all about finding the right balance.
You're navigating it beautifully.
After spending some quality time with my friends or relaxing alone, I begin my nighttime routine.
It's important to have a routine to wind down. What does yours include?
First, I make a cup of herbal tea and read a book in my living room. It's very calming.
That sounds like a perfect way to relax before bed. In my living room is correctly used, by the way.
I'm glad I got that right. Reading helps me transition from the busyness of the day to a state of rest.
It's a healthy transition. What comes after your reading time?
Then, I review my planner for what's on tomorrow. It helps me mentally prepare for the next day.
Staying organized is key. For what's on tomorrow is a great use of prepositions. Good job.
That's good to hear. I also lay out my clothes and pack my bag for the next day.
Preparing the night before can save a lot of time in the morning.
Exactly. And before I turn off the lights, I meditate for a short while in my bed.
Meditation is a great practice.
Meditation helps me sleep better.
You're doing well with adding healthy habits into your routine.
Thank you. Our conversations have encouraged me to be more mindful about my routines.
I'm so glad to hear that. Mindfulness can make a big difference in overall well-being.
It really does. And discussing my routines with you has improved my English too.
Your English has indeed improved a lot. It's been wonderful to see your progress.
Sarah, I've noticed a lot of my mistakes involve prepositions. Do you have any tips or rules to help me get better at them?
Definitely. Prepositions can be tricky, but there are ways to improve your understanding and usage. First, one general rule is to think about them in terms of time and place. For example, we use at for specific times, such as at 3 p.m., and we use in for months and years, for example, in July or in 2022. For places, at is used for specific locations, for example, at the school. Also, in is used for enclosed spaces, such as in a library. And finally, on is mostly used for surfaces, like on the table. Second, immersion is key. Pay special attention to how native speakers talk. This real-life exposure helps you understand their correct usage in context. Third, practice by writing sentences or short paragraphs. Then check your work with a grammar tool or app. Fourth, remember, learning is a process. Try not to get frustrated by mistakes. Instead, view them as learning opportunities.
Those tips sound really practical, especially the idea of thinking about prepositions in terms of time and place. I'll start paying more attention to how they're used in real life.
That's a great start. And remember, I'm here to help you. Feel free to bring sentences or phrases to our conversations that you're unsure about, and we can work through them together.
Thanks. I appreciate all your help and patience.
It's been my pleasure. Remember, I'm always here if you need to practice or talk.
That means a lot to me. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome. Keep up the great work.
Great job! Now, if you want to see how Mira improved her English speaking skills and prepared for her English class presentation, explore the link in the description below to watch her other story. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more stories. Don't forget to hit the like button to encourage us to create more stories. Keep practicing, keep learning, and see you in the next video.